Oh, hello. What's up, Losh? How's it going? Hey, Wing Chun. I am glad you're here. What's up, Sal? How's it going? You are early. What's up, Hope? I'm glad you're here. What's up, Lady Koi? How's it going? Da, da, da. Hey, Nikki. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Casey. How's it going? All right. Yeah, I am back. I am back. Back from Italy. Back from across the world. What's up, Christina? How's it going? Tell you about Italy? Italy was pretty great. I really liked it. Um, yeah. Um, I went to. How did the heist go? Heist went great. I went to all of the usual monuments. I went to, let's see, went to the Colosseum. Um, I saw the Statue of David. Went to the Vatican Museum. I saw the Sistine Chapel. Um, went to St. Peter's Square. Um, yeah. What else? Oh, Leaning Tower of Pizza. I stole the entire Statue of David. Wait, I owe you guys a song? How do you remember? You have such good memories. Um, so okay. Yeah, it was fun. I heard I heard that Europeans um they listen to old American music or like music here, music that has been like that were popular in the US a long time ago. They they become popular in Europe a lot later on. I kind of saw it firsthand, at least in Italy. Like, you would go to a restaurant or you would be walking outside, and you'd hear like old '90s music. You hear like Britney Spears and I don't know, Boys to Men. You hear '90s stuff on the radio in Europe. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess it's kind of true. It was pretty cool. It's my kind of music, my generation. So, um, what I liked the most was well, in terms of the things that the place that I went to, I liked the Colosseum. Oh my god, it was the pictures don't do it justice. Huh. It's huge. When I went in, I stood at the like in the arena and I looked up and I looked at all of the. I imagine like all the seats and all the crowd cheering and stuff. Yeah, you kind of get the feeling that you're there and you're like a gladiator looking up at the crowd. Um, yeah, I really liked it. It was a good feeling. Did I have gelato? Hell yeah, I had gelato. The gelato was the best. Okay. The first place I went to, I got pistachio gelato and it was amazing. I don't know what they put in it. Okay. The pistachio ice cream here is not, it's like, it's kind of bland. It tastes nothing like it. Okay. But the one in Italy is so good. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Um, yeah, so I had that. That was my first gelato over there, and over the course of a week, I just kept eating pistachio things. Okay, I got like a pistachio cannoli. I got some. Other pistachio ice cream. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Bring a lion for the most realistic experience. Yeah. Yeah, I saw the trap door that they had in the Colosseum. Yeah, that's where they put. I guess that's where they bring up the lions or the gladiators. Probably real pistachio. Ours is probably fake. Yeah, maybe that's why. It's so good. Why don't we use real pistachio? Rated out of 10. The pistachio gelato. Gonna have to say 9.4 out of 10. It was so good. Yeah. So the gelato was excellent. I went to one place that had tiramisu. It was like this is this cute little tiramisu shop. Okay, it's like a small shop. We just passed by it. I was just walking down this alley, and I just saw this little tiramisu shop. Okay, they said it's like 100 tiramisu. So apparently they have 100 tiramisu flavors. So yeah, I saw it. It's a little shop. Okay, not very many people can fit inside, so they had a line outside, and they'll only let in a group at a time. Yeah. So I got dark chocolate chili tiramisu. It was so good. Yeah, the dark chocolate and the chili kind of goes together. Okay, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, they had a lot of flavors. They also have they can put in like liquor, like hard liquor. So they can put in rum or vodka or other stuff inside it too. It's pretty good. What else about the food? The cheese on their pizza, excellent. Okay, so good. I think the cheese on their pizzas are better than the cheese here in America. Yeah, it just has this, I don't know, it just has a really nice cheesy flavor. Um, but that's like the only thing I like about the pizza. You know, Italian pizza, not that big of a fan. I think I still like my American pizza better. Give me a New York slice any day of the week. Yeah. What else? What else? I had nice Florentine steak. Okay. It was like it was this restaurant that they said they're on a list of like the 101 top steak places, I think. Yeah. I don't know what number they were. Maybe they were at number 101. I don't know what rank they were in, but it's so yeah. I went there, and I ordered we ordered a 1.3 kilogram steak, like a T-bone steak. Ah, it's huge, gigantic. All right. Yeah, and I ate it. It was so freaking good. Oh my god, it was amazing. It was amazing. One of the best steaks I've ever had. It's like it's nice and tender, and you can just chew it. So it just goes in your mouth. It just fits in your mouth so well. Okay. So that was good. Yeah, I had some fried artichokes, which I never had before. Um, yeah, they're like crunchy. It's like eating chips. Okay, that was good too. All right, Wing Chun, have a good day. They've had more than a merely hundreds of years to master cheese. Yeah, I like the cheese. It was really good. Yeah. Oh, what I didn't like. Okay, they don't serve tap water at restaurants. I asked for tap water like once or twice. I think I asked for it twice, and they wouldn't give me tap water. They're like, no, we don't serve that. I'm like, okay. So they're like, do you want still water or sparkling water? And so I was like, okay, I'll have still water. And they take out this actual bottle of water, a glass bottle of water that you pay €3 for. All right, and every freaking restaurant. Hold on. Yeah, where's my iced tap water? I didn't like that. Did they have those pay bathrooms? Yeah, the public restrooms are most of them you have to pay €1 to go to. Plot twist is still tap water. How you think they just refilled the glass bottles? Yeah, maybe. Maybe their tap water tastes bad. Maybe. Did you get free refills? No, you don't get free refills. Okay, if you finish your water and you want more water, you have to order more water. It's another €3. What the fuck? Yeah. Okay, and they also say they say that there's no tipping culture there, but there actually kind of is. Okay, it's kind of sneaky, because yeah, you don't have to tip. However, at most restaurants that I went to, you had to. They have a service charge on your receipt. Okay, and it's called sometimes it shows up as service charge. Sometimes it shows up as coperto, however you say it. Yeah, and it's like a charge per person, like per head. It's usually €2 per person. Yeah, so you have 4 people, you gotta pay $8 in service charge. So that's kind of like a tip, isn't it? I feel like that's the tip. It's not a percentage, okay? So I guess that's a little bit better. But yeah, nickel and diming people, that is a tip. Yeah, so you do pay a little bit of a tip. And what's even more egregious is at the like if you go to a place like a lot of places near touristy areas, they'll charge you the service charge, and then they'll also ask you for a tip. Okay, they don't ask you directly, but when they give you the bill, they go, okay, they give you the bill and they go, oh, tip is not included. Okay, which is a sign that they're expecting tip. Wait, so you want me to pay the service charge, and you want me to pay a tip on top of that? You're crazy. You're crazy, dog. Yeah. What else? What else? Yeah. Food was mostly good. Pizza was all right. It wasn't bad. It was all right. I ordered like a lot of different kinds of pizza. It was all right. Do. Gonna go dig on that fact. If you travel to other continents, you shouldn't drink the tap water. Well, yeah, if you go to like Southeast Asian countries, yeah, I know you shouldn't drink the tap water. But I feel like in Italy, you should be able to drink the tap water. Sup, Rude Noise? How's it going? Do. So I went to Rome and then Florence. So Rome was pretty cool. Rome is a big city. What I like is that it's very walkable, and like you can just turn to like a little corner or a little alleyway and go down an alley and just explore the city. And like every single alley had just like a bunch of restaurants, and there'll be people sitting outside eating. You have like little shops. I think that's really cute. I like that. Yeah, you can't really do that here. Unless you live in like a big walkable city, like I don't know, New York or something. But here, if you want to go to a restaurant, you gotta drive, man. You can't just go down an alley and peruse the different restaurants that they have. Yeah, so I like that. Um, Florence, I actually like Florence even better than Rome. Florence is smaller, much smaller. Um, I thought it was much more cute. Yeah, and you can walk down a street, and like every 2 or 3 blocks, you'll find something. You'll find something. There'll be like a museum. There'll be like a cathedral or a basilica. Yeah, yeah, I really like that. Like at this time of the year, there's a lot of tourists. Okay, there are way more tourists in Rome than in Florence, so that was good. Um, yeah. So I thought Florence was a really cute city. All right, Sal, you're saying Italy tap water isn't served because it's mineral rich, so it's hard and costs to soften it. To save costs and reduce time, most sell bottled water instead of normal tap water. Gotcha. Isn't it that way with a lot of European countries too? It's not just Italy, right? Yeah, I heard like they don't really serve you tap water at restaurants. Yeah, so I loved Florence. And the funny thing about Florence is that, well, it's so Florence is where the statue of David is. Okay, it's in this gallery called Academia Gallery. Yeah. Um, and obviously it's super famous. So in Florence, all over the city, okay, you see David's is flaccid penis everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay, it's like on stalls where they sell T-shirts. It's just his penis right there. It's not even they don't even show you the entire statue of David. Okay, it's not like that. I would understand, right? It's not like you have like T-shirts of just the statue of David, and his penis is right there. But no, it's just cuts off the statue and it just shows you the middle. Here's his penis. There's his dick. Okay, it's on like T-shirts. It's on keychains. It's on posters. Yeah, you walk around, you say, "Oh my god, there's his penis. Oh, there's his dick. Oh, there it is." That was pretty funny. Um, I went in, to see the statue of David, and at first, well, before, okay, I've seen the statue on pictures and videos before, and it just looks like another statue. Okay, it's just another Roman statue. Seen it everywhere. But when I actually went in and I saw the statue, it was real. It was really good. I really liked it. It was super impressive. I was in awe. I was standing there in front of David's flaccid dick, and I was, oh, it looks so good. It does look really good, and it's really grand. It's huge. And you can see all the details that Michelangelo put on it. um, yeah, you can tell he spent a lot of time on it and putting every single detail. You can see the muscles, the veins. His hand has veins. Honestly, wow, the stuff he made. Yeah, true. Yeah, you can see all the muscle, the tone. It's polished. It looks so good. You can walk all around the statue. His butt is really nice. It's like a really toned butt if you look at it from behind. He was a master in marble. Yeah. So apparently the statue was um originally it was outside, right? They put it outside. Um yeah, but then it got damaged. Believe it got damaged a couple of times. I think one time there was a riot and someone threw a chair at it or something, and broke his. I think they broke his hand or his arm or something into 3 different pieces, and they had to put it back together. Yeah, and then I think later on they were like, okay, this is kind of scary. We don't want this statue to be broken and destroyed, so they put it inside the gallery. Um, yeah. I think even inside the gallery, there was an incident that happened. I think I read about it. Some crazy dude just came in and with a hammer or something, with something, and he smacked it. He smacked it. He hit the statue before the onlookers tackled him and stopped him. But he actually broke a toe, I believe, of David. Yeah. I think they put it back together. They picked up all the little pieces, the toe pieces, and put it back together. Yeah. And I believe the statue was made to so if you look at it from the bottom, it looks really proportional, but it's actually not proportional. I think the head and the upper body and the hands and stuff and the arms are bigger than it should be. And that's because it was made to be seen from below. Yeah, so look at below, it looks really proportional. But if like you're looking at it from above, I think it looks different. But yeah, the statue it was great. And in the gallery, there's a room next to the statue, okay, with a bunch of other statues and like busts, okay, not made by Michelangelo, but made by a bunch of other artists. Yeah, and they look cool. I like them. I went in and I looked around, and they were pretty cool. But like I think they put that room just so that you can go into that room and you can look at those sculptures and you can compare it to the David, and they don't compare at all. Okay, you can tell, you can see the difference in the statue of David compared to those other statues. Okay, even me, who I don't know anything about statues, but I can tell the difference. So yeah, I was really impressed by that. What else? Um, the Vatican Museum was pretty cool. I like that too. Yeah, it was really big. It was really big. It would take you hours to go through the entire thing. I think I saw like half of it. I couldn't go through the other half. The Sistine Chapel is inside the Vatican Museum, okay, and it's at the end. The Sistine Chapel, not that impressed. I think it was because so when you see pictures of it online, it looks really bright, right? Like it looks really bright and nice. And you see that picture of God touching the dude with the finger and stuff. Yeah, but when you actually go in there, it's actually really dark. Yeah, it's pretty dark. And there are always a bunch of tourists, so the entire room is just packed with people. It's packed. Okay, I feel like if I was there alone, then it would look much better. It would feel much grander. But since there were so many people and it's just packed. The room is just packed. The sides, people are sitting all on the sides and they're standing all in the middle. And yeah, it was just not that impressive. So I was kind of let down by that. The Leaning Tower of Pizza, is it Pisa? Pisa? That was also underwhelming. Yeah, it's just a tower. That's it. That's yeah. Pisa is like a city like a bit away from Florence. So it's its own city, and it's the only thing happening in Pisa. Pisa. It's the only thing happening there. Okay, that's the only thing there. So you go to the city. That's all you see. It's like a plaza with a bunch of other buildings. Well, a few other buildings, and then you have the tower, and it's leaning. Yeah, and when like the path to get to the plaza, okay, there's like an area in the front of it. So to get to it, there's you have to go through like a bunch of merchant stalls. There are merchant stalls set up everywhere in the front for tourists, and they're just selling all like touristy stuff, like t-shirts and keychains and everything. Um, yeah, so right off the bat, the vibe was not that great. It's not that great. So you go through that, then you get to the square or the plaza. Um, you see the tower right away. And there's a huge crowd. There's a lawn in front of it, with a little fence, and all you see is um, so when you see pictures of people taking the picture of the tower and they're doing their thing, like I'm holding up the tower, like yeah, like everyone does. You can't really take that picture on the ground because there's people everywhere. So if you take that picture, you'll see people everywhere. So what a lot of people do is that they climb on top of the fence and they stand on it, and then they do that picture. Okay, so you don't see the people. So all so all up and down that fence is you just see people just standing there doing their thing everywhere. They're all they're all doing that. Every single person. Yeah, everyone is just doing that or waiting for their chance to climb up on the fence and do that picture. Oh my god. Um, yeah, yeah. And the tower was all right. It was pretty big, I guess. Yeah, but but that's all it is. It's a leaning tower. Okay, whatever. So I was kind of underwhelmed by that. Yeah, yeah. That's basically it. If you have any questions, ask them now before we start with the story. Did anyone recognize you? No, of course not. I'm not big enough for people to recognize me outside. Um, I love that the cities are walkable. Yeah, I think that's the thing I miss the most. Um, yeah, I didn't like the cobblestone streets though. They look cute. They look nice. Okay, it looks charming. Um, Especially in Florence, it looks really charming. But they're hard on your feet. Okay, and they're uneven. Sometimes they're broken. Some cobblestones are higher than others. Sometimes, yeah, it looks nice, but um, I'd imagine if you're driving a lot in Florence or Rome or whatever, and you're driving on those cobblestone streets, not good for your car or your bike or your Vespa or whatever. Did I drink any alcohol? Nope, did not. Did not. Do you count tiramisu? No. Yeah, I'm not a wine type of person, so no. Oh no, wait, I did. I drank spritz. Drink Aperol spritz. Um, yeah, I didn't really like it. Yeah, people say it's good, but I didn't really like it. Yeah, I had that. Dim 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 dim. Does that mean that people recognize me in the US a lot? No. That doesn't happen at all. Didn't even order wine to go with the steak. Nope. I ordered water to go with the steak. Did I buy you any souvenirs? Oh, wait, hold on. All right, give me a couple minutes. Be right back. Remember that I told you that Florence has a lot of penis paraphernalia? Okay. Wait, can I show this on YouTube? Should be okay, right? Should be fine. Yeah, see, it's a ton of this. It's all over the city. It's so funny. And check it out. You turn it around. It's a little booty. It's David's butt. So I got David's dick and David's butt. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like I'm straight and everything, but when I saw David's flaccid penis, it looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. Doesn't look bad. I was like, oh, good for you, David. Good for you. Now we know the Italians don't shave down there. Yeah. Pretty hairy. Yeah, that's what I got. Okay. I'm totally straight. Guys, you gotta believe me. You gotta believe me. I'm totally straight. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. But there's something about David. There's just something about him. All right, any other questions? I think that's all I ate. Did I eat anything else? Anything weird? Wait, let me look through my pictures. Maybe I forgot something. Oh, I had boba. Okay, I had to try out the boba scene. See how the boba scene is in Italy. So there, not that many places, but there were a few. Okay. I went to the first one I went to. I ordered what did I order? Some like lemon green tea with boba. Yeah. And when I got it and I drank it, they didn't give me actual boba. They gave me, you know what popping boba is? Yeah, it's like some liquid filled boba that pops when you eat it. So that was a bust. Okay. I didn't really enjoy that. I was like, oh, okay. But it was a fluke. I think they gave me the wrong order. I ordered a second one, okay, and that one was okay. I forgot what flavor I ordered. But all I remembered was they did give me actual boba this time, but the boba was just bland. It's bland boba. It feels like it's like last generation boba, like like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when boba first became popular. Well, in the States anyways. Yeah, back then they can get away with it. Back then they could get away with it because like it was new. Okay, no one knew a lot about it. So yeah, you can get away with having bland boba. But nowadays, Here, anyways, nowadays they flavor it. They steep it in like honey or in brown sugar or whatever. Yeah, but this place didn't do that, so it was just bland, and I didn't like it. So yeah, two out of two, not good. Um, and then I think I was in Florence and I looked up some boba places, and I saw one that was had pretty good reviews. Okay, and it was um, a wait. Oh no. The second one had good reviews, and it was like a legit um boba place, a legit Asian boba place, like a Chinese place. Because when I went in, there were like the three workers were sitting there watching some Chinese series. Okay, and I walked in, or and they're like, oh, they look over and they, and they all run off to take my order. Um, so it was a legit Asian owned place. Um, did they speak English or did I have to speak Italian? Everyone spoke English. Okay, at varying degrees of fluency, but everyone spoke English. Yeah, so it was a legit place, but it wasn't good. The third place, I think it was late at night, and there were only two places open. Okay, and yeah, and they were only open for like 30 minutes before they closed. So I rushed to one of those, and it was like another. It looks legit. Okay, it was like um, it's like a Korean place. Yeah, there was one worker there. Okay, all the chairs were up already, so they're getting ready to close. But yeah, but she took our order, and she um yeah, and everything was fine, and she gave us the boba, and okay, it was this like opaque cup, and I drank it, and the tea was pretty good. The tea was pretty good. Okay. The boba was also on the bland side, but it was not as bad as the second one. The boba, so I guess they kind of steeped it in something a little bit, but not enough. It was still kind of bland. So yeah, not that good. The funny thing is, I've never seen this before. Okay, but what's fun? The funny thing is that I was drinking that cup, and for some reason, I couldn't put my straw like through the middle of the cup. It seemed like it was there was something in the middle. It was caught on something. Okay, I didn't know what it was. But when I finished drinking it, and I opened it up, and what they had put a whole lemon inside of the cup. They cut like both sides. Yeah, but it was a whole lemon, and they put it in the cup. I'm like, why? Why? The cup was like this small, and the lemon was like this big. So it's like half the cup. It's just a whole lemon. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of tea. They gypped me. They gypped me. Just a little bit of tea. Yeah, I thought that was weird. I'd never seen that before. Um, yeah. So that was kind of weird. So nope, boba scene not that good. Reporting back. Not as good in Italy. Maybe one day. One day. Good thing I didn't order a watermelon boba. Yeah, true. Do. Didn't want me to get scurvy. All right, what else? Do. Oh, there was one incident. So, I was at a market, and in front of the market, there's this statue, this bronze statue of a boar. Okay. And the boar, it was a bronze statue, and the snout of the boar is a different color than the rest of the boar. It was like very shiny. Okay. And the reason is that what you're supposed to do is rub the boar's snout, okay, and you put a coin in its mouth, okay, so that you put a coin in his mouth and you release it, and because his mouth is pointing downwards, it would fall down, okay, and it would fall down um into a little hole, okay, um, with a grate on top. Okay, so it falls into a little hole, and what you're supposed to do is what happens is that if the coin falls into the hole, then um, your wish was supposed to come true. So I guess you rub the snout, you make a wish, and you put the coin there, and you drop it. Okay, and if the coin goes in the hole, then your wish is granted. Okay, if not, yeah, I think you can just do it again until it gets inside the hole. Um, yeah, so there was that thing, and there was a bunch of people there, and everyone was doing the wishing thing, and then and then out of nowhere, a guy comes up. Okay, he had a blue shirt on, and he had the word Italia on the back of his shirt. Okay, so he goes to the statue, and he looks at the hole, and he takes like a stick and he starts poking it inside the hole. But the hole is covered by a grate, like an iron with iron bars. Okay, so you can't really put your hand in and take the coins. Okay, but he took the stick and he's trying to take out the coins. Okay, he was just so nonchalant about it, like it was nothing. He's like la 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 la, la, and he was doing that. And everyone was just standing there and looking at him. Wait, is he a worker? Is he supposed to do that? And he's just doing that for like 15-20 seconds. And then finally like two guys came up and started like talking to him in Italian. And they're like, it seemed like they were like, "What are you doing?" And he looks up and then he goes back and try to take the coins again. And they pull him apart away from the boar, and they just started talking and shouting at him off to the side. So apparently he wasn't like a worker at all. Okay, I don't know why I thought he was a worker at first because of the word Italia on the back. It looks like an employee's shirt, I guess. Yeah, but like when he started taking out the coins using the stick, so when that happened, I realized that he wasn't a worker; he was just some random dude. Yeah, and these two guys were just pulled him out and they started yelling at him. So weird. Show us the coins. I don't got no coins. Oh, I do have coins. Oh yeah, I have some leftover coins that I didn't spend. I have like a 20-cent coin and a 10-cent coin. He is John Italy, the employee of Italy. Oh, I also went to the Ponte Vecchio. Is that how you say it? Ponte Vecchio? Ponte Vecchio. That's a bridge in, was it Florence? I think it was. Yeah, it's a bridge in Florence. And it looks pretty cool from the pictures that I've seen. It's a bridge, and it's not a normal bridge, though, because it's on either side of the bridge are stores. Yeah, a bunch of stores all over, all along the side of the bridge. It looks pretty cool. So I went there, okay, expecting let's go into like some of the shops, see what they're selling. But when I got there, first of all, there was a bunch of people. The bridge is just full of people. Okay, and on either side, the shops, they're not like regular shops. Okay, they're selling. It's just all luxury items. Okay, just up and down the freaking bridge. It's just luxury item. Jewelry and everything. I'm like, oh god. What a shitty place. What am I doing here? I thought it was gonna be cool, but I can't shop at all. Can't shop. What am I supposed to do there? Yeah, that was a letdown. The view wasn't even that good. Okay, people were like taking pictures of the river, but yeah, it wasn't that good. It's like a shitty river when you enter a whole new tax bracket street. Yeah, so that place was not good. Whatever. Don't go to the Ponte Vecchio. Mm-hmm. All right, what else? What else? Let's see. Just looking through my pictures. Oh, I had a calzone. It was all right. Oh, I went to the Pantheon. That was cool. That was cool. Yeah. And it was really cool because on that day it was raining. Okay, and the Pantheon, the roof of the Pantheon is like a dome, right? And the top of it is hollow. So there's a hole at the top of the dome. Okay, and it was raining that day, so the rain went through the hole and was like raining down in the middle of the Pantheon. It looked really cool. I really liked it. Yeah, it's a nice view. If only there weren't so many people there. Ruining the vibe. But yeah, that was cool. I was imagining like, so the Pantheon it's a temple, right? Yeah, so I was imagining people back then, doing their prayers and stuff. They're going in. Maybe someone is praying in the middle, okay, with the rain falling down on them, doing whatever ritual. That's cool. Yeah, I think the Pantheon is pretty cool. What else? What else? What else? All right, that's it, I think. Anyways, there you go. All right, you guys ready? Oh, hold on. I need a snack. Give me a minute. Italian snack? Nope. Just a Japanese snack. We got some taiko drums here. Okay. Don't know what it is. Maybe they're crackers. Not sure. Oh, okay. Oh. 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 Kind of salty, kind of crunchy, crispy. I taste some vinegar and soy sauce, I guess. I think. Oh, crispiness rating is like This is like a 8 or 8.5 out of 10. Oh, is it seaweed flavored? Maybe. Is it? I don't taste the seaweed. I think it's like soy sauce. 0 out of 10 squish. Yeah. It's pretty good. I'm going to give it like a 8.2 out of 10. Hold on. All right. You know what? 8.3. 8.3. I was being unfair with the 8.2. All right. You ready? You ready? Let's recap. So what happened 2 weeks ago? What happened was the 7 freaks, they stumble upon piles of human skulls, just stacked up piles of skulls. They're like, what the hell? And they notice that the skulls have holes at the top of the head, okay? That match the positions of the fingers, of your fingers. Now, Ke Zhen-e, the blind leader of the freaks, he figures out that the skulls belong to his enemies. Okay, his enemies are Copper Corpse and Iron Corpse. Okay, great names. Ke Zhen-e, he reveals that Copper Corpse and Iron Corpse killed his brother. Okay, they're pretty evil. And he wants to get rid of them once and for all. So the freaks, they set up an ambush and they're ready to fight. Okay, they're waiting there for these corpses, these corpse people to arrive. Iron Corpse, her name is Mei Chao Feng. She shows up and she does her skull technique on a dude, okay, that she brought along the way. So she had a captive and she goes blah on his head, blah, and she kills him. Okay, that's how you make the hole. And the holes on the head. The freaks attack her, okay, but they kind of struggle against Mei's like Mei Chao Feng's crazy strong martial arts. In the middle of the fight, little Guo Jing, he arrives for his martial arts lesson that the freaks had promised him. Okay, bad timing. Like, and also Copper Corpse. Okay, his name is Chen Xuan Feng. Okay, he's the husband of Mei Chao Feng. He shows up and he grabs Guo Jing. Copper Corpse is also super powerful. He injures a bunch of the freaks. And he's about to kill Han Xiaoying. But Zheng Asheng, he throws himself in front of her to absorb the blow. Okay, he saves her because he loves her. He's in love with her. He's never admitted, he's never confessed, but he's in love with her. So he risks his life to save her. In the middle of the fight, Guo Jing, he panics and he stabs Chen Xuanfeng, Copper Corpse, in a weak spot, and he kills him. Okay, killed by a little boy. And also, Ke Zhen-e manages to blind Mei Chao Feng. Okay, and she runs away with her husband's body. Afterwards, Zheng Asheng, he finally confesses his love to Han Xiaoying, and then he dies. And the remaining freaks, they promise to keep on going and avenge Zheng Asheng. But first, they have to take little Guo Jing, home, and then also tend to their wounds. All right. And that's where we left off. All right, how's that? Alright, guys. Legend of the Condor Heroes, Chapter 5. Drawing the bow to shoot condors. Okay. Oh no, is this another translator? Uh-oh. A row of people came down the mountain. After walking for a while, they suddenly heard the roars of wild beasts in front of them. Han Baoju leapt on his yellow horse and went to see what was happening. After galloping for a while, the yellow horse suddenly stopped, and no amount of urging would make it move. Knowing in his heart that there was something strange ahead, he stood in the stirrups and looked into the distance. Oh yeah, Han Baoju was looking for... Wait. Yeah, where's he going? He could see a group of people with some leopards clawing at the earth. Knowing the yellow horse's fear of leopards, he jumped off and took hold of his golden dragon whip. Moving forward, he saw that the two leopards had uncovered a body. Continuing forward a few more steps, he saw that the body was that of copper corpse Chen Xuanfeng. The area from his collarbone to his lower abdomen was a blood-covered mess, as though the skin had been sliced off. No Wordle? No Wordle. I spent too much time talking about the trip. Today's Wordle might be harder than a minute game. Oh, is that a challenge? Lady Koi? Oh, if that's a challenge, then we gotta do it. We gotta do it. Alright. Doom, doom. Moo. Moon. Mooney. Umi. Maybe music. No. Maybe cumin. Cumin. Ah. More than a minute. Who said that? Lady Koi. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, Sal. Have a good night. Surprised, he thought, "He was killed by the boy last night with a dagger thrust through his navel. So why is his corpse here? Since he is already dead, why would anyone do this to his corpse? Who did this? And what is the meaning behind it? Do the twin killers of the dark winds have another enemy in the desert, with hatred that strong?" Not long after, Zhu Tong and the others arrived. No one could understand the reason behind the mutilation. They looked at Chen Xuanfeng's corpse, whose face was still showed a fierce expression, which caused a quick shiver of fear in everyone. Thinking back to last night's terrifying fight on the barren hills, they knew that if not for Guo Jing's lucky hit with his dagger, the outcome might have been very different. Just thinking about it brought a chill to their hearts. Today's Samantha word is also hard. Good try, Losh. Very good try. No, not doing that. By this time, the two leopards were chewing on the corpse. To one side, there was a little boy on a horse, loudly urging the leopard handlers to drag the leopards away. Turning his head, he saw Guo Jing and shouted to him, "Ha! So you are hiding here. You didn't have the guts to tell To Lui fight. What a useless friend." It was Sungam's son, Duksh. Frickin' Duksh. "You all fought To Lui again? Where is he?" Worried, Guo Jing asked. "I'm taking..." Oh, wait, this is Duksh. How does Duksh sound again? "I'm taking the leopards to eat him up. You'd better surrender now, or else I will include you too," Duksh replied smugly. He had seen the 6 freaks of the south at one side. If not for them, Duksh would have already sent the leopards to attack Guo Jing. Guo Jing persisted. "Where is To Lui?" Ignoring him, Duksh shouted loudly, "The leopards will eat To Lui now!" As he led the leopard handlers away, one leopard handler advised him, "Little master, that boy is Temujin Khan's son." Duksh immediately hit the leopard handler with a slash of his riding whip, shouting, "What is there to be afraid of? How dare he raise his hand to hit me today? Move aside!" The leopard handler, not daring to disobey his order, followed Duksh. The other leopard handler was afraid that this might cause some irreversible problems. He turned and ran, shouting, "I'm going to inform Temujin Khan." He was gone before Duksh could stop him. Duksh said bitterly, "Fine. By the time Uncle Temujin comes, it'll be too late. Then we'll see what kind of solution he comes up with." He whipped his horse, forcing the group to move faster. Although Guo Jing was terribly afraid of leopards, he was more worried about his sworn brothers' safety. He said to Han Xiaoying, "Shifu, Duksh is going to get the leopards to eat my sworn brother. I need to inform him so he can escape." If you hurry there, maybe the leopards might eat you too." Wait, okay. "If you hurry there, maybe the leopards might eat you too. Aren't you afraid?" Han Xiaoying asked. He replied, "I am afraid. Are you still going?" After hesitating for a split second, Guo Jing affirmed, "I'm still going," before running away rapidly. Because Zhu Tong's wound was still painful, he was quietly lying forward on his horse's neck. Noting Guo Jing's chivalrous heart, he mused, "This child may not be very smart, but he is nevertheless a person worthy of our generation." Han Xiaoying replied, "Fourth brother's perception is right. Let's go save them." Chen Jinfa cautioned the rest. "This little lord keeps leopards at home. He must be the son of an important general. We'd better be careful not to create trouble, since 3 of us are injured." Han Baoju used his lightness kung fu to catch, pick up, and place Guo Jing on his shoulders. Although Han Baoju was small with short legs, he could still move very quickly. For Guo Jing, sitting on his fat and sturdy shoulders was like riding on a good war horse, fast and steady. Han Baoju rushed to Wind Chaser's side, and with a great leap, he took Guo Jing with him on the horse's back. Within moments, they caught up with Duksh and the leopard handlers. After a short gallop, they saw 10 or more kids surrounding To Lui. It was Duksh's gang following his orders. They were not trying to attack him, just trying to keep To Lui from leaving. Having been taught 3 skillful moves by Zhu Tong, To Lui had practiced the moves that night until he was familiar with them all. To Lui is pretty good. Come morning, he was not able to find Guo Jing or to get his third brother Ogadai to help him. To Lui bravely went to fight Duksh by himself. Duksh had brought along 10 or so in reinforcements, but seeing him alone rather surprised him. When To Lui requested that they only fight one-on-one and not attack him as a group, Duksh agreed immediately. He thought that there was no way To Lui could beat him, but once they started fighting, To Lui kept using the 3 moves that Zhu Tong taught him, and incredibly, he managed to best Duksh. Although the 3 moves that Zhu Tong taught him were simple, they were actually the essence of the vacant fist technique. Furthermore, since these three moves had no complicated changes, Tolui, being very smart, picked it up immediately. So when he used them, the other Mongolian kids were no match for him. The Mongolians placed great importance on keeping promises, since they had agreed to battle one-on-one only, and even though they were upset, they could not do anything about it. Tolui made Duksh fall twice, and even hit him on the nose. Duksh was furious, so he ran off to get his father's hunting leopards. After single-handedly winning against so many kids, Tolui was very proud of himself. That was why he stood quietly in the center of the surrounding kids, not even thinking about running away. Unbeknownst to him, big trouble was coming. From the distance, Tolui heard Guojing's faint shouts. Tolui, Tolui, run away now! Duksh is bringing his leopards to eat you up! Tolui was shocked and tried to rush out of the circle, but the kids surrounding him kept blocking him. There was no way for him to escape. Soon the 6 freaks of the south, together with Duksh, arrived one after the other. Following them, the leopard handlers led the leopards there. Though the 6 freaks of the south could have prevented oncoming danger by catching Duksh, they did not want to create more trouble. They also wanted to see how Tolui and Guojing faced the danger, so they did not offer any help. Suddenly, they heard sound of numerous horses coming like the wind. Someone shouted at the top of their lungs, "Don't let the leopards go! Don't let go of the leopards!" Mukali, Borokul, and the rest of the 4 aces had arrived. When they heard the leopard handlers' report, they didn't have enough time to inform Temujin, and hurriedly rushed to the scene. Temujin, Ongkan, Jamuka, Sengam, and the others were at the Mongolian camp, chatting with Wenyan Honglie and his brother. Hearing the leopard handlers' report, they were shocked and ran out of the gur and leapt on their horses. Quickly inform them that I ordered Duksh not to do this. It is important that Temujin Khan's son is not injured, Ongkan ordered. His men rode their most spirited horses to where the trouble was. Because Wenyan Hongxi was not able to see the leopards fighting against men yesterday, he was still feeling bored. Hearing this, he felt excitement rise and stood up, exclaiming, "Let's all go have a look." Wenyan Honglie speculated, "If Sengam's leopards really kill Temujin's son, then their families will no longer be friendly. After that happens, they may start fighting. Who knows, maybe both sides will suffer terrible losses and be severely weakened. That will definitely be good fortune for my Jin country." The Wenyan brothers, Ongkan, Sengam, Jamuka, and the others arrived at the scene, only to see that the 2 hunting leopards' chains had already been unfastened. The leopards crouched on the ground with low growling noises coming from their throats. In front of the leopards stood 2 kids, Tolui and his younger sworn brother, Guojing. Temujin and his 4 aces raised their bows and pointed them at the leopards. They were ready for action. Although Temujin saw his youngest son in a dangerous situation, he also knew that those 2 hunting leopards were very precious to Sengam. Sengam had taught the leopards when they were young. He reared and trained them until they grew strong and ferocious. Since that could not be achieved easily and took much time, Temujin felt that if the leopards did not attack, he wouldn't harm them. Seeing the crowd arriving and relying on his grandfather's and father's adoration for him, Duksh felt even more courageous. He kept urging the leopards to attack. Ongkan then shouted, "Stop this now!" The sounds of hooves were heard as someone riding a red horse arrived. On the horse was a middle-aged woman, clad in leopard fur, and in her arms a little girl. It was Temujin's wife, Tolui's mother. She had been chatting in the camp with Sengam's wife. When she heard the news, she immediately rushed out with her daughter, Hua Zheng. Seeing the danger, she was both shocked and worried. She shouted, "Quickly, shoot the arrow!" with all her being wait, with all her being focused on her son, she absent-mindedly placed her daughter on the ground, forgetting about her safety. As a little girl of 4 years, how was Huazheng supposed to know of the leopard's ferocious nature? She happily bounded over to her brother's side. Spotting the leopards with their pretty colored fur, she was reminded of her second brother Ogedai's hunting dogs. She stretched her hand out, oh no, wanting to pat the leopard's head. The crowd was startled and yelled at her to stop, but it was already too late. The two leopards, already nervous and agitated, growled at the same time and leapt forward fiercely. Alarmed, the crowd called out in distress. Although Temujin had already aimed his arrow, Huazheng's sudden appearance was something that no one had expected. In the blink of an eye, the leopards were in the air. Huazheng was blocking Temujin's aim at the strategic spot on the leopard's head where they have to be hit to ensure an instant kill. A shot by Temujin now would only injure the leopard, and that would aggravate it further. The four aces threw down their bows and drew their knives. As they moved forward, they saw Guojing roll forward to pick up Huazheng. At the same time, one leopard's front claws was on Guojing's shoulder. The four aces raised their knives, only to hear several faint sounds. When the noises passed, the two leopards suddenly fell growling and rolling from side to side. After a short time, they were motionless. The leopard ate the camera. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Why does my camera always go upside down? Boroku went forward to find out what had happened. He saw blood running from the leopards' foreheads. It was obvious that a kung fu master had used a hidden weapon to hit the leopards' brains. It was Kujinu. He turned around and saw 6 calm, composed Han people standing to one side, watching the ongoing scene. He knew that the hidden weapons had been thrown by them. Temujin's wife hurriedly picked up the now bawling Huazheng from Guojing's arms and pulled Tolui to her bosom as she tried to comfort Huazheng. Sengam asked angrily, "Who killed the leopards?" The crowd remained silent and no one answered. Kujanu had heard the leopards' growls, and fearing that the leopards would harm Guojing, had thrown 4 projectiles with poisonous tips. Since that action only took a wave of his hand, and since everyone had their eyes focused on the leopards, there was no one who actually saw who fired them. Temujin smiled and said, "Brother Sengam, I'll repay you with 4 good leopards when we get back. And I'll add 8 great pairs of black eagles." Sengam was seething with anger when he heard that, but he remained silent. By now, Ong Khan was angrily scolding Duksh. Humiliated at receiving this treatment in front of the crowd, he tried to deflect the blame from himself. In a fit of temper, he lay down on the ground and began rolling and hitting, crying and shouting. What the? Ong Khan loudly commanded him to stop, but he did not care. Because Temujin was still grateful for what Ong Khan had done for him in the past, he felt that it would be a pity to break up the two families' friendship over such a small matter. He smiled and bent over to pick up Duksh. Duksh was still crying and yelling and tried his best to struggle, but could not. Still smiling, Temujin tried to salvage the situation. "Stepfather, the kids were only playing. There's no need to get so worked up. I think he is a good boy, and I'm thinking of betrothing my daughter to him. What do you think?" "No, not the daughter." "Why?" Ong Khan saw that Huazheng had eyes like glistening dew, and skin like a baby lamb, fair and cute, and felt happy in his heart. Laughingly, he said, "Ha ha ha ha! What could be wrong with that? Let's have an even closer relationship. I'll betroth my eldest granddaughter to your son, Jochi." Temujin agreed. "Thanks, stepfather." He turned around and said to Sengam, "Brother Sengam, we are now in-laws." Sengam had always felt that he was of a higher status than Temujin. He was already jealous of Temujin, yet looked down on him. Although he was not happy about becoming in-laws with Temujin, he could not go against his father's wishes. He could only smile weakly. Skin like a baby lamb, hairy. Yeah, he was hairy. Yeah, what, you don't think that's cute? At this point, Wen Yan Honglia noticed the 6 freaks of the south, and he was shocked. Huh? What are they doing here? I'm sure they are chasing me. I wonder if the temperamental Taoist priest with the surname Chu is around here as well, he asked himself. Since he currently had the protection of numerous soldiers, he was not afraid of them. But if he gave the command to capture them, he was afraid that it might cause trouble. The 6 freaks were listening to Temujin's and the others' conversations and had not even noticed him. He turned and moved behind the crowd of soldiers, while at the same time thinking of ways to handle the matter. As for Ong Khan and Temujin's family's engagement, he did not think much of it. Temujin knew that it was the 6 freaks of the south that saved his daughter's life, and he waited for Ong Khan and the others to leave before commanding Borokul to reward them richly with furs and gold. He then reached his hand out to stroke the top of Guojing's head, and repeatedly praised him for his courage and valor. Temujin said that risking his own life to save another is something that not all adults will do, much less a small child. When he asked Guojing why he was so brave, Guojing just stood there dumbly, since he could not find an answer. After pondering for some time, he said, "Leopards will eat people." Hearing that, Temujin laughed loudly. Ho, 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 ho. So Louis then told him why he started fighting with Duksh. When Temujin heard how Duksh kept mentioning embarrassing events from his past, anger boiled deep in his heart. He said nothing about it, only saying, "In the future, don't bother with him." Temujin then turned to Chen Jinfa and asked, "How much gold do you want to stay in my camp to teach my son Kung Fu?" Chen Jinfa thought, "We were thinking of finding a place to teach Guojing Kung Fu. If we can teach him here, there would be no better place," he replied. "The Great Khan's willingness to accept the 6 of us is something we could not have asked for. You can pay us whatever you decide is suitable. We wouldn't dare to discuss or argue about that amount." Temujin was pleased, and he told Borokul to look after them. After that, he left to see off the Wenyan brothers. The 6 freaks of the south rode slowly behind the others while they discussed the matter. Han Baoju said, "The skin on the chest of Chen Xuanfeng's corpse was removed by someone. It must have been an enemy of his." Chen Jinfa replied, "The twin killers of the dark winds are cruel and ruthless. Having many enemies isn't something to be surprised at. But I don't understand why his enemy didn't simply chop up his body or slash him all over. Why only slice off a large piece of skin from his chest?" "I have been thinking of that all this time, but I still cannot figure out the reasoning behind it," Kujanu replied. "The most pressing task at hand is to find out where Iron Corpse is." "Precisely. If that person is not killed, she will bring much danger to us in the future. I'm afraid that she will not die from the poison," Zhu Tong agreed. With tears in her eyes, Han Xiaoying spoke up. "Fifth brother's dead. How could we not avenge him?" So Han Baoju, Han Xiaoying, and Chen Jinfa rode their fast horses to try to find Iron Corpse. But after numerous days of searching, they were not able to find a trace of her. Han Baoju considered, "The woman's eyes were hit by elder brother's poison projectiles. The poison must have worked on her by now. She probably died in some mountain valley." The rest of them agreed. Kujana knew in his heart that the twin killers of the dark winds were very smart and devious. Unless he could touch her corpse with his own hands, it would always remain a heavy weight on his heart. He did not want to bother his younger brothers and sister with his worries, and did not tell them of his concerns. From then on, the 6 freaks of the south remained on the steppe, teaching Guojing and Tolui Kung Fu. Oh, cool. Temujin knew that Kung Fu was for protecting oneself in close contact with an opponent. He wanted Tolui and Guojing to learn these techniques briefly, and to spend most of their time learning riding, shooting with their bows and arrows, and learning other important skills of the battlefield. The 6 freaks of the south were not familiar with these Mongol skills, so Guojing and Tolui learned these from Jebe and Boroku. In the evenings, the 6 freaks of the south taught Guojing alone, teaching him fists, sword, hidden weapons, and lightness kung fu. Although Guojing was slow by nature, he knew that he had to avenge his father in the future, using kung fu, so he did not complain and worked as hard as he could. Zhu Tong, Qian Jinfa, and Han Xiaoying's kung fu was a bit too hard for him to comprehend. With Han Baoju and Nan Shiren's basic kung fu, he just followed their directions exactly and slowly, but steadily learned it. This basic kung fu strengthened bodies, but was not designed to overcome an enemy and win a fight. Han Baoju often said, "Training you was like training a camel. Strong is strong, but can a camel be victorious over a leopard?" Whenever he heard that, Guojing only showed a silly smile. When the 6 freaks taught Guojing, they only supervised his learning, instead of explaining it to him. Of the 10 moves they tried to teach him, he couldn't learn a single one. They could not help feeling discouraged. Whenever they talked about it, they would only sigh and shake their heads. Although they knew that their chances of being victorious over Qiu Chuji's disciple were almost non-existent, an agreement had been made, so they couldn't give up. As a businessman, Chen Jinfa's talents lay in the field of intricate calculations. He often said, "For Qiu Chuji to find the young family widow, I figure he has about an 80% chance of success. That improves our chances by 20%. Whether the young family widow gave birth to a boy or girl, who knows? The chance that she gave birth to a boy is only half. With that, we potentially gain another 40%. If it's a son, maybe he won't survive to adulthood. Then we gain another 10%. Even if he manages to grow up, maybe he'll be as stupid as Jing Therefore, I'd say that we still have an 80% chance of winning." Yeah. Okay, nice calculations, sir. I feel bad for Jing being called stupid by everyone. Poor kid. The other 5 freaks thought that what he said wasn't wrong. However, saying that the young family's son's aptitude for learning martial arts might be the same as Guo Jing's, they had to know that Chen Jinfa was trying to console them. Luckily, Guo Jing had a good heart, and he was exceedingly obedient, so the 6 freaks really liked his character a lot. On the prairies of outer Mongolia, the coming of green summer grass and the brilliant white of winter snows, 10 years quickly went by. Guo Jing had become a sturdy youth of 16. There were only 2 years. Wow. Time skip, guys. He's 16 now. There were only 2 years left until the martial arts competition, so the 6 freaks stepped up their supervision. They ordered him to stop practicing riding and shooting temporarily, and from dusk to dawn, concentrate on practicing fists and sword. During these 10 years, Temujin had many battles and had swallowed up numerous other tribes into his own. He commanded his subordinates strictly, and all his soldiers were courageous and excelled in fighting. He was both courageous and resourceful and knew when to attack using force or attack using strategy. In all of Mongolia, no one could be compared to him. As the livestock bred and numbers grew, the population also increased, so that the differences between Temujin and Ong Khan's tribes became smaller. The violent winds gradually stopped, and the heavy snows began to decrease, but the outer prairies of Mongolia still remained bitterly cold. A certain day arrived. It was the Pure Brightness Festival. So, note Qingming Festival, a day for paying respects to the dead. The Chinese pay their respects at their ancestors or their families' graves, and may clean up the grave and pull out the weeds, etc. Okay. The 6 freaks of the south arose early, and Guojing with them. They took cows and sheep as sacrificial items to Zhang Asheng's grave and swept it. Since the Mongolians were nomads, they moved around more or less continuously. They had no fixed place to stay. At this point in time, the Mongolian camp was quite far away from Zhang Asheng's grave. Even riding fast horses, it took them more than half a day to get there. The 7 of them climbed the barren hill and swept away the piled up snow from the grave. Then they lit candles, burned incense, and knelt in front of the grave, praying. Han Xiaoying secretly prayed, "Fifth brother, for the past 10 years we've given all of our energy and our hearts to teaching this child. His gift for learning isn't good, and he can't learn our martial arts properly. I hope that fifth brother's spirit in the heavens will watch over him now at the Jiaxing martial arts competition in 2 years' time. Do not let this child spoil the prestige and name of the 7 freaks of the south." The 6 freaks were born and lived their lives in the south, with its warm hills and waters. During the time they stayed in the Mongolian desert, with its cold winds, they had become weaker and frailer, and their faces looked lean and somber. The hair at their temples had started turning white. Although Han Xiaoying's charisma and attractiveness had not lessened, she was no longer the pink-cheeked young girl of yesteryear. Zhu Tong surveyed the graveside piles of skulls. After 10 years of enduring winds and snow, the skulls had not started to decay. In his heart, there was a feeling that he could not express. Throughout these years, he had searched all over the surrounding country for hundreds of li with Chen Jinfa. They searched in every mountain valley and in every cave, trying to find Mei Chaofeng. Had she died from poisoning, there should be a skeleton left behind. If she did not die, it would be very hard for a blind woman to live in seclusion for a long time and not leave a trail of some kind. Nonetheless, she had vanished into thin air like a spirit. On this lonely hill in the wilderness, in this grave and the piles of white bones, lay the only marks that the twin killers of the dark winds had left behind in the desert. The 7 stayed in front of the grave to have a memorial meal and drink, then returned to their dwellings. After a short rest, the 6 freaks took Guojing to the hillside to practice his martial arts. They have so much faith in the child? Yeah, they do. I hope he wins. One day, his 4th master, wood chopper of the southern mountains, Nan Shiren, and he practiced using the open hills palms technique. Nan Shiren intended that he use as much martial arts as he could. They sparred for around 70 or 80 moves continuously before Nan Shiren suddenly pushed his left palm outward and flipped his body in the move the hawk hunting rabbits, aiming the palm at Guojing's back. Guojing bent over to avoid this move, then moving his leg in a circular motion, with the move autumn winds sweeping the fallen leaves, he swept his leg towards his teacher's lower body. Nan Shiren countered using Iron Bull tilling the land, attacking with his palms. Guojing had just started to withdraw his leg to change his stance when Nian Shiren suddenly shouted, "Remember this move!" His left hand swiftly moved out and tried to hit Guojing's chest from the front. Guojing's right palm hurriedly moved to block because this palm was considered rather fast. Then Nian Shiren's left palm flew out, and with a slap, both palms connected. Although Nian Shiren only used about 30% of his power, Guojing could not help falling over. Both his hands hit the ground, but he immediately jumped up, and with a look of shame showing on his face. Nian Shiren was just about to instruct him about the essence of this move when suddenly, from a grove of trees, came two bursts of laughter. Then a youthful girl came out, clapping her hands and smiling. She shouted, "Guojing, are you beaten by your teacher again?" Guojing's face turned red as he said, "I'm practicing now. Don't bother me." What voice should I give Guojing? That didn't sound like Guojing's voice. Kind of a dumb voice. So my usual voice. "I'm practicing now. Don't bother me." The young girl laughed. "I like seeing you getting beaten up." Oh, she wants to beat him up. She wants to beat him really badly. The girl was Temujin's young daughter, Hua Zheng. Oh. Isn't she promised to the other dude? Oh no. She's promised to Duksh, guys. Poor girl. She, Tolui, and Guojing were around the same age, and they'd played together since they were small. Because her parents doted on her, it was not surprising that she was a bit arrogant and willful. Since birth, Guojing's character was straightforward and simple. Whenever she threw a tantrum without reason, they always clashed. However, after arguing, they would soon make up. Huazheng knew that she was wrong and would soothe his feelings with soft words. Huazheng's mother still remembered how Guojing risked his life at the leopard's mouth to save her daughter. She was especially fond of him and often gave gifts of clothing and livestock to his mother and him. Guojing said, "I'm practicing with my teacher. Go away." Huazheng laughed and said, "Nah, this is practicing. I'd call it getting beaten up." While they were talking, several Mongolian soldiers arrived. One 10-soldier leader got off his horse and bowed to Huazheng, saying, "Huazheng, Great Khan is calling for you." Mongolians were simple by nature and did not have the courteous customs of the Han people. Although Huazheng was the Khan's daughter, everyone still called her by her name. Huazheng said, "What for?" The 10-soldier leader replied, "Ong Khan's messengers have arrived." Okay. Alright, guys. I think this is a good time for a break. Okay, I will be right back in a few minutes. Cool. Alright. And we're back. When this singing started, you thought it was me? Huazheng wrinkled her brow and said angrily, "I'm not going." The 10-soldier leader continued, "If you don't go, the Khan will be very angry." When she was very young, Huazheng had been betrothed to Ong Khan's grandson, Duksh, by her father. But over the years, she had developed a close relationship with Guojing, although it really couldn't be said that there were feelings between them. Yet, whenever she thought about having to part from Guojing to marry that infamously arrogant Duksh, she couldn't help but feel sad. Yeah, anyone would. "I feel you, sister. I feel you." She pursed her small mouth and kept silent as she thought. In the end, she did not dare disobey her father's command, and followed the 10-soldier leader back to the camp. You want to hear me do throat singing? Uh. There you go. That was my song. Ong Khan and Sengam decided that Sengam's son had grown up and wanted to pick a date for the marriage. Therefore, they sent people with gifts, and Temujin wanted her to meet the messengers. That night, while Guojing was sleeping, he suddenly heard the soft sound of someone clapping 3 times outside the ger. He sat and heard someone speaking the Han language. Guojing, come out. Guojing was curious, but didn't know the voice. He lifted up a corner of the flap of the door cover and peered outside. In the moonlight, he saw a person standing near a large tree. Guojing went out of the ger and moved forward to see that the person was dressed in a large-sleeved long robe and hair combed into a bun. This person looked like neither a man nor a woman. The face was hidden by the shadows of the tree and couldn't be seen clearly. The person was actually a Taoist priest. Oh. But Guojing had never seen a Taoist priest before and asked, who are you? Why are you looking for me? The person said, wait, how does his voice go again? You are Guojing? Yes, Guojing replied. The person demanded, where's your dagger that can cut iron as though it were mud? Take it out and show me. He suddenly moved and leapt close by to him. Then he sent out a palm aimed right for his chest. Guojing knew that the person attacked without reason, and his attack was vicious. He was greatly surprised and moved sideways immediately to evade the palm. He shouted, what was that for? The person said with a smile, just testing your abilities. Just testing your abilities. Wait. Wait a minute, how did I do his voice? Just testing your abilities. Then, with his left arm, he sent out a fist with strength that was fierce and swift. Guojing, feeling anger rising, slanted his body to avoid the move. Then he raised his right hand and fiercely grabbed the enemy's wrist, while his left hand moved to take his opponent's elbow. This move was the strong soldier breaks the wrist from disconnect the muscles and separating the bones technique. Damn. That is that's a great sounding technique right there. Disconnect the muscles and separating the bones technique. You need only catch hold of the enemy's wrist, then the elbow, push forward a little, then a twist, and with a ka-cha sound, the right wrist bone will be twisted out of place. The disconnect the muscles and separating the bones technique was passed on to him by his second teacher, Zhu Tong. Although Zhu Tong's language and everyday behavior tended to be comical, his mind was actually very sharp. Kujane and he had secretly held several discussions about Mei Chao Feng. Although both of her eyes were injured by poisoned projectiles, her martial arts were unusual and strange. Perhaps she was able to resist the poison. If she did not die, she would definitely seek revenge. The longer the time before she showed herself, the more thorough her plans would be, and the more vicious and evil her methods. In the past 10 years, even though no trace of Mei Chao Feng had been discovered, the 6 freaks were never complacent. In fact, they were even more cautious than ever. How do you stay cautious for 10 years? Whenever Zhu Tong looked at the fingernail scars left on the back of his hand, he couldn't help but feel fearful. When he thought about her strong martial arts, he knew it would be very difficult to harm her. To resist the 9 yin white bone claw, why not use the disconnect the muscles and separating the bones technique? This kung fu set focused on dislocating or breaking the opponent's bones, using ultra-fast methods to attack the other party's limbs, skull, and neck bones. In the past, back home in China, Zhu Tong regretted that he had never asked for advice from any masters that were experts in this style of kung fu. None of his brothers and sister knew it either. After thinking for some time, he remembered that all the martial arts in the world were created by people. Since there was no one here to teach this technique to me, It would be hard for me to create my own version. There's a knock on the door. I think I have a delivery. I'll be right back. Did I order pizza? Nope. It's the Italian guy with the stick. Ah, fuck, he followed me. No, I just got some more snack boxes. Oh my god. This sponsor is crazy. Alright. So you remember that all the martial arts in the world were created by people? Since there was no one here to teach this technique to me, will it be hard for me to create my own version? His nickname, Magical Hands Scholar, referred to his very fast hands. Furthermore, he was very familiar with attacking acupoints and knowing their positions well. Using his unique talents, he recreated the disconnect the muscles and separating the bones method without too much difficulty. After numerous years of practice, the essence of this technique was deeply ingrained in him. Although his method may differ from Shaolin Kung Fu, it was still powerful. He analyzed and worked on it with Chen Jinfa, and then passed on his techniques to Guo Jing. Guo Jing was battling a strong opponent, so when he started attacking, the first move he used was the disconnect the muscles, and separating the bones move. Although not an expert, he practiced this kung fu a lot, and the way he used the moves was close to perfect. The person's wrist and elbow was suddenly held by Guo Jing, and in surprise he sent out his left palm swiftly, aiming for Guo Jing's face. Guo Jing wanted to twist the enemy's wrist bones out of place, but the enemy's palm suddenly came. With both hands holding onto his enemy, he had no way to defend. All he could do was let go and leap backwards. He felt the force of the palm sweeping past his face with an uncomfortable, burning sensation. When he turned around, he saw his enemy was actually a handsome youth of around 17 or 18 years, with a refined face and long lashes. Oh, I'm dumb. It's not the Taoist. Ooh, who do you guys think it could be, guys? Who could it be? He heard him say in a low voice, "Your kung fu is not bad. You did not waste the 6 freaks of the South's 10 years of teaching." Guo Jing was only using one palm to protect himself, so he was very cautious and asked, "Who are you? Why are you looking for me?" The youth shouted, "Let's spar again." Before he stopped speaking, he had already raised his palms from his side. A cute young Taoist priest. Yeah, you like that, Losh? Guo Jing stayed calm and did not move. He waited until he could feel the movement of the air caused by the enemy's palm nearing his chest. He moved his body slightly, and his left hand grasped the enemy's arm. He raised his right hand and pinched the enemy's cheek. He had only to hold on to the enemy's face, swiftly pull outwards, and the jaw joint would dislocate. This move was given a humorous name by Zhu Tong. He called it "Jokes will undo the jaws," meaning laughing until the chin drops. This time around, the youth was more alert and used his right hand to defend while attacking horizontally with his left. Guojing still used the disconnect the muscles and separating the bones technique to defend. Within a short time, they had exchanged more than 10 moves. The youthful priest's movements were light and graceful, his palms swift and powerful. Before the palm hits, his body had moved, and it was hard to tell where the palms came from. This was the very first time that Guojing fought an enemy using martial arts, and it was against one with high kung fu skills. After battling for a while, he felt despair. The youth's left foot flew out and with a pat hit Guojing's right hip. Luckily, the enemy did not use all his strength, and Guojing's basic kung fu was very strong. His body only shook a little, and immediately both palms were flying again, protecting all the weak points on his body as he tried his best to defend and attack. The youthful priest kept pressing him hard, and Guojing knew that he could not cope for much longer. Suddenly, he heard a voice from behind him shouting, "Attack his lower body!" It was his third teacher, Han Baoju's voice, and he felt joy in his heart. He angled his body to the right, then turned around. He saw that all of his 6 teachers had been standing behind him for a long time. With all of his concentration focused on battling the enemy, he did not notice that they were there. His spirits rose greatly, and he followed his third teacher's advice, fiercely attacking the priest's lower body. The priest's body was lightly built, and his lower body, as his third teacher was pointing out, was definitely not very strong. Since spectators could usually see the flaws from the sidelines, the 6 freaks of the south had seen his from the beginning. After being attacked by Guojing for a time, the youth couldn't help but fall back. Guojing felt that victory was near. Seeing his enemy stumble, he attacked with a series of Mandarin duck kicks. Huh, hey, Mandarin duck, guys. Yuan Yang sabers. Nice little Easter egg there. With both feet flying, but his enemy was only trying to trick Guojing with this ruse. Both Han Baoju and Han Xiaoying called out together, "Watch out!" Because Guojing lacked experience, as the saying goes. Rude noise. Oh no, that's in my head now. Because Guojing lacked experience, he didn't even know what to watch out for. When his right foot kicked out, it was instantly grabbed by the enemy. The youthful priest took advantage of the way he kicked and sent his palm out to hit him. Guojing couldn't resist it, and with a somersault, he fell onto the ground. He landed on his back, and it hurt terribly. With the move carp flipping upright, he immediately sprang up to attack again, but saw his 6 teachers surrounding the youthful priest. The priest neither resisted nor tried to attack. He raised his hands together in the traditional greeting manner and said in a clear voice, "Disciple Yin Ji Ping is following the instructions of my honored teacher, Chen Chunji, Chu Chu Chi, who asks if the masters are well." While saying this, he respectfully kowtowed. Okay, so this is a Taoist priest. Yin Ji Ping. Hearing that this person was sent by Chu Chu Chi, the 6 freaks of the south were curious, but feared that it might be part of some scheme. They did not raise their arms to help him up. Yin Chi Ping stood up and took out a letter. With both hands, he presented it to Zhu Tong. Kujanu heard patrolling Mongolian soldiers coming nearer, so he said, "Let's talk inside." Yin Chi Ping followed the 6 freaks into their ger. Chen Jinfa lit a candle made of sheep's fat. It was the ger that the 5 male freaks lived in. Han Xiaoying lived in another ger with other unmarried Mongolian women. Yin Jiping saw that the furnishings in the ger were simple and rough and thought that the 6 freaks' everyday life must be quite tough. He bowed again and said, "Every elder here must have suffered greatly from being here for all these years. My teacher is grateful to you beyond words. He specially commanded this disciple to come and thank each of you. Kujinu let out a thinking. If that truly is the reason you are here, then why did you fight Jinger till he fell over? Were you trying to make us feel inferior before the competition? Zhu Tong had by now opened the envelope and taken out the letter. In his clear and resonant voice, he read out, Chanjun disciple, Chu Chuchi respectfully greets the 6 heroes of the South. Master Ke, Master Chu, Master Han, Master Nen, Master Chen, and Heroine Han. The years have passed quickly since we parted in the South. The 7 heroes are people of their words, and your righteousness and your integrity is awe-inspiring. Your benevolence and chivalry matches the ancients of old. After hearing this, the wrinkled face of Kujinu looked somewhat pleased. His love language are words of affirmation. Zhu Tong continued. Hearing that Master Zhang died in Mongolia was very saddening. I am still very shaken by Master Zhang's death. Due to your good fortune and my good luck, I was able to find the son of the late Mr. Yang 9 years ago. Bah! So, the other kid is a son. The son. So we got 2 boys. Ah! The other 5 freaks said simultaneously. They knew that Chu Chuchi was very capable, and the disciples of the Chenjin sect were spread throughout the country. It was to be expected that he would find Yang Tiexin's offspring. He must always have kept in mind the scheduled meeting for the competition in Jiaxing. Finding the mother, whose whereabouts were unknown, was like searching for a needle in a haystack. Whether the child was a girl or a boy was up to the heavens. Had it been a girl, there would be a limit to the power of her martial arts. Hearing that the child had been found gave them a momentary shock. The 6 had never told Guo Jing's mother or him about this matter. Zhu Tong slid his eyes towards Guo Jing. Seeing no change in his expression, he read on. After 2 years, when the flowers are blooming and the grass is long in Jiannan, I will meet and drink with all of you masters at the pavilion of the drunken immortal. Life passes like the dew, and these 18 years were like a dream. Will the brave heroes of the world laugh at my foolishness? When he read to this point, he stopped. Han Baoju asked, What is below? The letter ends there. It is definitely his handwriting, Zhu Tong replied. That day in the inn, Zhu Tong had stolen a piece of poetry from Chu Chuchi's pocket and recognized his handwriting. Damn. He had the mind of a steel trap. He has a great memory. Kujanu asked in a somber voice, The Yang family's child is a male? His name is Yang Kang? Yin Jiping replied, Yes. Kujanu continued, So he is your junior brother? He is my senior brother. Although this disciple is older than him by a year, senior brother Yang started learning from the Chenjin 2 years earlier, Yin Jiping replied. The 6 freaks of the south had seen his kung fu, and Guo Jing was definitely not his match. If the junior brother was already so good, his senior brother must be even more powerful. At this point, they felt their hearts sinking. It seemed Chu Chuji knew of their actions in detail. He even knew of Zhang Asheng's death. They all felt that they were on the losing end already. Kujanu said coldly, When you sparred with him earlier, was it to test his abilities? Yin Jiping heard the hostile tone in his voice and felt anxious. He hurriedly said, Disciple would not dare. Kujanu said, Go back and tell your teacher that although the 6 freaks of the south may not be as good as he, they will definitely not miss the appointment at the pavilion of the drunken immortal. Tell your teacher not to worry. There will be no reply letter. After hearing these sentences, Yin Jiping did not know whether to reply or not, and felt very awkward. He'd followed his teacher's instructions to come up to the north and pass on the letter, and Qiu Chuji had indeed told him to find a way to test Guo Jing's character and kung fu. The elder Chen Chunzi actually cared about his friend's son, and his intentions were good. But Yin Jiping, as a youth, was naturally more adventurous. Upon reaching the Mongolian plains, he did not hurry to see the 6 freaks, but instead sparred with Guo Jing in the middle of the night. Seeing the unfriendly expressions the 6 freaks were wearing, he felt afraid, and did not dare to delay leaving. He bowed to everyone, saying, "The disciple will go now." I like that. The disciple will go now. Bye. Bye, guys. Gotta go. Kujanu suddenly said, with a sharp tone in his voice, "You should turn a somersault, too." Swiftly sweeping his left arm out, he caught hold of Yin Jiping's collar. Yin Jiping felt fear and used both his hands, trying to push Kujanu's arms away. He wasn't aware that if he had not attempted to get away, he would only have been made to fall with a somersault. By resisting, he only made Kujanu angrier. He bent his left arm, he lifted up Yin Jiping's body, and with a hey sound, threw the little priest heavily onto the girl's floor. After landing, Yin Jiping's back hurt badly, as though it was cracked. But after a while, he slowly struggled up and limped away. Man, this Kujanu guy has a temper. Han Baoju said, "The little priest has no manners. It's a good thing that Big Brother taught him a lesson." Kujanu was thinking, and after quite a long while, took a deep breath. The 5 freaks felt the same way, and everyone was depressed. Nian Shiren suddenly said, No matter what, we still have to fight, even if it cannot be won." Han Xiaoying said, "Fourth brother is right. After we 7 became sworn siblings, we traveled over the world together. We went through many dangers, and the 7 freaks of the south never retreat." Kujanu nodded and said to Guo Jing, "Go back to sleep. We will work even harder starting from tomorrow." Thereafter, the 6 freaks of the 6 freaks of Jiangnan were even stricter in their training. However, in studies or martial arts, as in music or mahjong, when someone tried for quick success, he risked getting precisely the opposite result and progress stopped. The 6 hoped for so much from their disciple that they put immense pressure on him. To make things even more difficult, Guo Jing didn't have a quick, intelligent mind. On the contrary, he was slower than most young people his age. The more they wanted from him, the more he panicked and lost concentration. Since the nocturnal visit of Yin Jiping, he hadn't made much progress for 3 months. He even seemed to have regressed somewhat. It was precisely what the popular belief says. The one that hurries too much doesn't arrive safely, and the one that swallows too much gets the stomach ache. I like that. Did she put that on a t-shirt? The one that swallows too much gets a stomach ache. The 6 freaks were remarkable masters in their respective arts, acquired at the cost of constant effort over a long period. Wasn't it an illusion to wish for Guo Jing to acquire a mastery of all those arts in just a few years? An extremely gifted person would have a lot of trouble to accomplish such a prodigious feat. How could someone hope for the same thing from a young and not very gifted boy? The 6 were conscious of the problem, and considering the character of Guo Jing, he could have practiced the techniques of Han Baoju or Nian Shiren alone, and after 20 or 30 years of fierce effort, maybe have half of their respective skills. If Zhang Asheng had not died prematurely, his teachings would have been the most compatible with Guo Jing's abilities. The six wanted to beat Chu Chuji so much that even though it would be better to teach one skill rather than teach them all, they could not restrain themselves and tried teaching everything they knew to this dumb disciple. During the last, well, even the narrator calls him dumb. During the last 16 years, Ju Tong had not stopped thinking about the fight in the pavilion of the Drunken Immortal and in the Buddhist Fa Hua monastery. He reviewed with precision every movement and every stroke made by Chu Chu Ji. Though he had a great memory and replayed them in his mind, he didn't succeed in finding any flaws. Sometimes he even thought that only Copper Corpse and Iron Corpse would be able to beat the Taoist. In the morning, Han Xiaoying taught Guojing two movements of the Sword of the Yue Maiden. To execute the first, the branch hits the white gorilla. It was necessary to leap, make 2 turns with the sword before straightening it to attack. Guojing had worked hard on the stability of his lower body, but lacked the agility for the jumps. He could hardly make half a turn in the air before landing heavily. After 7 or 8 attempts, he didn't succeed in making it any better. Han Xiaoying began to get angry and had to force herself to stay calm. She continued her explanations, indicating to him how to land on tiptoe, how to make his jumps, etc. But when he jumped sufficiently high, he forgot to do the turns, and his landings remained clumsy. Han Xiaoying thought that after suffering the rigors of the Mongolian steppe for more than 10 years, and fifth brother losing his life here, the end result was so disappointing. She felt a pain in her heart and began sobbing. Throwing her sword to the ground, she left with her hands covering her face. Guojing ran after her, but didn't catch her. He stood there, stupidly immobile, with his heart broken. He knew that he owed everything to his shifus, and had hoped to succeed in the martial arts to prove to them his recognition of their teaching. Though he made every effort, he still couldn't succeed, and he didn't know what to do any longer. He was lost in thought when he suddenly heard Hua Zheng's voice calling him. Guojing, come quickly, come quickly. All right, guys. I think we can stop there. All right, what did you think of the chapter? Yeah. Ow. All right, well, we did find out one thing. The other child is a son. So I guess they're sworn brothers. Okay, it looks like the sworn brother is pretty good. So it looks like our Guojing is is not gonna do very well. Song time? Oh no. Alright. Alright. Time to say goodbye. What is that? I don't time to say goodbye. I don't know that song. I know this song. Let me play it.
Sì, lo so che non c'è luce nonostante tu, cuore che hai, say good.
No. It's half Italian. How am I supposed to sing this? No. I only know that part. That's it. Not the rest. This is the girl and guy part. Mm. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. You gotta pick another song. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hmm. Hmm. I'm looking at the list. Da, 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 da. What song did I hear on the radio over there? I heard Britney Spears. I heard Boys to Men. Sing it. Which one? Britney Spears or Boys to Men? What was that Boys to Men song? It also has Goodbye in it. It was like, it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. That one. Want to try that? All right. Not that one? Oh. Britney Spears. Oh, God.